Hi everyone, Comic Reviewer here, this time reviewing on the 1994 film Street Fighter. Now, as you know, Street Fighter, the 1994 film, is meant to be an action film that was written and directed by Stephen E. DeSolis, as well as being based on the popular fighting game Street Fighter by Capcom. Now, as you know, Street Fighter, I would say, is something different from Tekken. Well, yeah, Street Fighter is meant to have a tournament in some of the games. Other games are meant to have different kind of bosses, different kind of enemies to battle, and yeah, you even have different sort of selections of different characters. So the premise of the film is meant to take place in South Asian nation of Shadalo, where a civil war has erupted, and we kind of see how General M. Bison has kidnapped a whole load of hostages, and we kind of see how he demands $20 billion in 3 days. And of course, this is where we do kind of see how William F. Guide, as well as his squadron, go out to kind of stop Bison. And I think the film has good ideas, but it seems like some characters are thrown in or just kind of not given much time. Because yeah, I think when you've got Ken and Ryu, I think they're just kind of thrown in much like what their game counterpart is, being the good friend characters and just kind of getting roped into this sort of shenanigans. And yeah, I think when you've got Chun-Li, she's kind of posing as a reporter, and you don't really see her in an iconic outfit until near the end, and it's changed from being red. And I kind of think some of the casting isn't too bad. I think Ming Na Wen actually does a good job for Chun-Li. I also think, yeah, Raul Julia does a great job for Bison, playing this over-the-top but dangerous enemy. And I think when you've got Andrew Brian Zalaski playing sort of Zangief, I think he does a good job as well. And I think at least some of the casting and some of the characters look like they're supposed to. Like Bison being an over-the-top overlord. Also, Belloq having the sort of iconic boxing gloves. Also, Vega kind of being the sort of flamboyant, over-the-top pretty boy. And I think there is moments where the film does seem to be copying a lot from G.I. Joe. Like having the sort of, like, guardsman henchmen, also having kind of like the G.I. Joe-like villains, and also kind of having the over-the-top world domination plot. And I think, yeah, I can understand why there's so many negative reviews. And I think, well, yeah, Street Fighter is just meant to be that iconic fighting game. And yeah, there was even a game based for the film. And yeah, I think to me is that Street Fighter is that thing I think had potential to be a movie, but I think at the same time it was trying to be a mix of G.I. Joe and Street Fighter, and I think Jean-Claude Van Damme at least does a decent job for Colonel William F. Guide. I think, well, yeah, they could have gone with Dolph Lundgren or someone else. I think when he does try to play a sort of commanding officer, he kind of seems like he's that guy you would see in the sort of B-budgeted movies a little bit. And yeah, I know that me and my friend Sean, when we work at Game Over, we always kind of play on the old sort of Street Fighter games, the same with Mortal Kombat. I think to me is that Street Fighter, I think, is a film that was made with good intentions. Again, you have Bison, who's the overlord. You have Ken and Ryu, who's kind of best friend characters. And yeah, you even do have Vega kind of being the flamboyant character, and even Sega as a kind of other bad guy character. I think the film has good intentions, but it just feels like a hollow version of a bit of Street Fighter. So I think the film definitely deserves a thumbs in the middle. Well, it has good intentions. It's just something that I think is that film that's just going to be there for a few laughs, but that was done with good intentions. So, Comic Reviewer here, signing out.